Blah! Sorry. Okay. Hope I didn't scare you too bad. That's all I can say. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for having the courage to click on this video and to check out another vlog by me. I am Jesse Berkey, and I appreciate you being here. I am doing a short series on an invitation to come alive with Jesus. And I should have mentioned that in the first video. Speaking of the first video, if you missed it, go to jesseberkey.com and you can check out the very first video of this series. I've only got a couple more, like 20 more videos I'm going to share with you. No, just a couple more, just 2 or 3. So hang with me, and I appreciate you guys. I want to talk with you briefly about the section of Coming Alive with Jesus that I have called the Transformation Zone. And I named it that for, I don't know, I thought it sounded like the Friendship Zone. And hang with me here. The Friend Zone, as some of us, maybe many of us, know what that is, when we have an attraction to somebody else and we somehow fall into the range of their view as just can't be anything more than a friend, right? And it's just not a very good place to be, on one hand. On the other hand, you get to be around and spend time with a person that you really care about and that you want to spend time with. Then on the negative hand, you know, it's you have to watch them start dating somebody else. And that can be tough. I'm having traumatic flashbacks here. It's okay because it all worked out great, you know. So, but the point is that there's this section of the transformation zone that on the one hand it's really good, but on the other hand it's not. It's like eating a chocolate cake. All right, so you're eating this chocolate cake and you're getting through it, and all of a sudden you discover that the frosting is dog poop, and you're like gross. This is not good. I mean, the cake was moist and it was made with some other kind of, I don't even know. It was made with love, right? And then half of the frosting is dog poop, and you get there and you're like, bleh. This is just not good at all. And I am actually relating this to transformation. And I know transformation is necessary and transformation is so good on one hand, but on the other hand, let's just be honest, it can suck. I mean, it can be really hard, and I don't think this surprises Jesus at all. He said, in this world you will have trouble, but then he said, but take heart, for I have overcome the world. So we get into this transformation. Those of us who have responded to this invitation to come alive with Jesus get to enter into this transformation zone, this transformation area that can be so beautiful, but it can hurt so bad on the other hand. And I have a personal example of this. In late 2007, I answered the call, and I talked about this in the first video, but I answered the invitation from Jesus to come alive. And he just resurrected things in me that I didn't even know were needed to be. I knew a big chunk of me needed it, but there were even things in there that I didn't even know. And so I came alive, and it wasn't even 8 months later that I was inflicted with the worst wound that I've ever had in my life. And it hurt so bad. And I was like, this transformation, there's so many good things that happened in it, but ugh, you know, I don't even want this. This wasn't supposed to be part of the deal. And I think that there's a lot of people, a lot of us, that enter into transformation and answer the call to come alive with Jesus. And we start walking with him and we go down this road, and then we encounter some of that pain that is an inevitability because of the change that Jesus wants to do in our lives, pulling up the weeds and pruning the garden. And there's just things from our old lives that just can't continue on with us when we are pursuing the abundant life of Jesus. And I think that what happens is that we find ourselves in this intense pain, and we're like, things were better back there. Things were better back there, as much as we can remember anyway. And we stall, and some of us even go backwards. And some of us fall into depression, and we're like, I thought this was what God wanted for me, and I thought I was doing the right thing, and I thought this was going to bring me life, not pain, suffering, and even death in some cases. You know, we can hit this when we are on the journey to understand God's love for us. On the one hand, we can get incredible revelation of that and feel his love, feel it so deeply. And on the other hand, we can be walking during a day or what seems like an extended season to where we don't feel that at all. And we're like, what's the deal? This tastes a lot like dog poop right now. What is the deal? This isn't what I signed up for. And in our identity, getting a glimpse of who God created us to be and really hanging on to that. And then something happens that shakes our entire foundations and we are left wondering, well, who are we? I thought that I was on the journey to discovering that, but it turns out that there's a lot more questions here than I had anticipated. And what about forgiveness, forgiving self and forgiving others? It seems like we can make breakthrough in that area. And then all of a sudden we come up against something that is just like, it's unforgivable. And it would hurt so bad to have to try to forgive that and let it go. And I'm not sure if I want to do that. And that's not what I signed up for. And I want to hold this person responsible. I want to hold myself responsible. And we just hold that in and we keep it in. If I did this, would it bother you with that blinking light there? I'll cover it up. If you hear that chirping in the background, that's my bird. And he doesn't care that I'm recording a video right now. But I don't care either. One take. That's what we're doing here. So be quiet, Sonny. Anyway, welcome back. Trauma. Breaking off trauma in our lives. Walking through that road. Going to a point on the path to where Jesus wants to deal with some of that painful stuff in our past. And we don't want to look at it. And we didn't think it was going to be that hard. And we weren't expecting that kind of pain. And we're not ready to look at it. Fear, dealing with fear in our lives. The power and authority that Jesus has given us to overcome the kingdom of darkness in our lives. There's so many beautiful things that are revealed to us on this road of transformation, but there's so many difficult things too. And oppression can increase, and it almost certainly will increase in your life. The enemy's attacks against us when we're in this process of transformation, because the kingdom of darkness, our adversary, he doesn't want us to be transformed. He doesn't want us to continue on that road. He wants to bring as much weariness and heaviness and hardship and heartache as he possibly can. And those things are going to happen. Those things are going to happen. But you know what? I want to encourage you. If you're on the road to transformation right now, if you have accepted the invitation to come alive with Jesus, and you're on that road right now, and you're experiencing that hardship, and you're experiencing the heaviness, and you feel like your feet are stuck in the mud, and you're not sure if you can even continue on anymore, I want to encourage you. In Hosea 2, God invites us out into the wilderness because he says, you know what? It's in this transformation, and I'm going to relate the wilderness to this zone of transformation. And so it's out in the wilderness where you're introduced to me as not Lord or Master, but as husband, he says. Ishi is the Hebrew word that's used there in Hosea 2. And he says, and I just get this picture in my mind. God is saying, this wilderness transformation zone, I want to introduce you to who I am as a bridegroom, as a beloved, as your spouse, something as intimate and as close as a spouse. And I want you to view me like that. And this out here is where I'll meet you. And I'll give you the strength that you need to carry on. And I will continue to teach you so that you can overcome things like bitterness and unforgiveness and self-hatred and not knowing who you are and not understanding my love for you. I will continue to help you in that. In Isaiah 35 and 41, we get these pictures of these oases, these resting spots, these beautiful locations in the deserts. And it's just this beautiful picture of the arms of Jesus just opening up and inviting us into the abundant life that he has to offer in this period of transformation as we are becoming even more the image of Christ. And so I want to encourage you that these things are here to help you. God is not leading you into a place to leave you alone. He is leading you and he is walking right beside you. And no matter how tempting it is to look backwards and say, it was better back there, I'm telling you, and I just pray that the Lord just plants this in your heart, that back there is death. Forward is the abundant life that Jesus came to bring. I want to encourage you to take the steps forward into the abundant life of Christ. That the night when I talked about that wound, the worst wound that I've ever experienced, I had to make the choice. I was 8 months into my transformation journey. And I had to make the choice. Am I going to go backwards to the way that I was, or am I going to go forward into life? And I remember hearing the voice of God so clearly. He said, if you go backwards, you know what's there, and it's death. Death is back there. Now, I know it's so difficult, but I'm right here just giving you the strength and the courage to take steps forward and to continue learning, to put into practice the things that I've taught you. And I promise you, I'll lead you to the promised land. And there's a promised land for each and every one of you. Let's take great courage and just call on the great strength of Christ that is in you, the hope of glory, to lead us into that land that he's prepared for us. I love you guys. And I have a couple questions for you. What has this transformation process looked like for you? How have you stalled, or what adversity have you encountered on your road to transformation? What has this process been like for you? And how, share, I want to hear how God has met you in the wilderness. I want to hear how God has met you there and how you've experienced him in that and what that's done for you. And I just want to hear from you. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this in community, and let's do this, and let's walk this journey of transformation together. I love you guys. If you want any more information about Karen and I, you can check us out at jesseberkey.com. We have a blog there. And I hope that you check us out on Facebook and Twitter. We're there as well. Have a great day. And again, you guys rock.
We've been given a call, been forgiven, risen, we living to give them our all. Rise up from your past that's holding you down. This moment is all that matters, the future is now. How will the people know if